the goaltending is something that we haven't talked about really a lot during the Bruins struggles because it's been pretty good. And for the most part, it's been Jeremy Swayman. But we saw Jonas Korpisalo for the first time at home as he's making his Bruins home debut. It was his first start in 13 days, and Brick, he was very good, and that's an encouraging thing for the Bruins moving forward, right? Because that's a big question mark going into the year. For the last couple of years, we've had this great 1A combination in Linus Ullmark and Jeremy Swayman, and now it's Swayman and Korpisalo very good against the Flyers.
Yeah, I'd put him in a category better than very good. I thought he was excellent in that win. I mean, that loss to the Flyers. Flyers didn't put a lot of volume on Korpisalo, but they probably had 7, 8 high danger, grade A chances at critical times in the hockey game when you needed a huge save, and he delivered. He looked like a confident guy in net, despite the fact that he hadn't had the net in quite a while. And I remember watching the game in Colorado. We didn't have it, so we kind of watched it as a fan. I mean, you're still an analyst when you're watching in the press box. And for the 2 periods, it was the fastest I think I saw the Bruins play. I thought they played really good in the first period against Colorado. They were moving, and I saw some of that in the win over Toronto. But we've seen very little of it through the first 10 games of the regular season. And I thought he had to be really good in the third period in Colorado when the Bruins kind of went pretty conservative and tried to protect the lead, and the game was still hanging in the balance till the empty netter by Beecher. So I thought Korpisalo was really good in that game, but I thought he was excellent in the loss to the Flyers. I mean, think of some of those saves that he made that kept his team right there. And we say it was a very winnable game for Boston, and part of that reason was because you had your goalie that was giving you that opportunity when you did make those bad breakdowns and give up those quality chances. So that's a great sign. And hopefully when a goalie like that plays well and he knows he's only going to probably get the net at most 40% of the time, in a way, I think that helps build the bond between the two goalies. They both want the net. They both want to play. I mean, that's natural.
Because their roles are established, right?
Yeah. So now it's not a 50-50 split like you had with Ullmark. Maybe it's a 60-40. Maybe it's even a 70-30 in favor of Swayman, certainly based on the money and the age and where they are in their careers and, just the game plan that the Bruins have and the philosophical belief on, what's going to give them the best chance to win. So for him, Korpisalo, to play like that, I saw a nice exchange. You saw it too. The camera grabbed it when Korpisalo was over at the bench after he made that great right skate save on Bobby Brink early in the hockey game. And the exchange with Swayman, I'm like, I love that. That's great. They're building something there between the two of them. And when Korpisalo plays like that, I think it only enhances that bond.
Yeah, that was a hell of a save. He made a couple of outstanding saves. Another one on Garnet Hathaway that comes to mind on a breakaway, one of those high-danger chances that the Flyers had.
Great glove hand, yeah.
Yep, no question about that. And so, Brick, I guess the question is, in terms of the rotation, we know that Swayman's going to have, when I say rotation, I'm looking ahead more to this weekend against Flyers again, right? You got the first back-to-back of the year. You figure he's going to get one of those games. You think you'd rather see him face the Flyers again, or do you give him a different look with Swayman? How do you what's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, the question is, how many days do you want in between Swayman starts? I think that's where you begin. You talk to the goalie, Swayman, and what's his desire. You talk to goalie Bob, get his opinion. How much do you value? Do you want your number one in there against Carolina? I say yes, I want my number one. So I think Swayman should play against Carolina and then come back with Korpisalo against Philly. We'll see how it shakes out, but I'm more concerned about, the other 18 players right now, Adam, to tell you the truth. I think whoever's in nets, they're going to give us a chance because I like both of them. I think Korpisalo is a good goalie if he plays on a good team with defensive structure. I really believe that. And the way he played against Philadelphia certainly proves that he's got the capability to be a very good goalie. That being said, I'm concerned about the other 18. I need a better team performance in front of who's ever in between the pipes. And that's where my concern is. That's where I spend most of my time thinking about this team and what needs to change and where the emphasis needs to be from this coaching staff to get this team to play faster, think faster, execute better, special teams improvement, all of the stuff all the boxes that need to be checked. And that's the challenge right now for the Bruins coaching staff, to get these guys to a point where they believe in what they're doing and in each other. And I guess the good news is that they're hanging around 500 and Some people are starting to get some separation maybe at the top of the division. I don't like that, so don't fall too far behind. Find your game and start banking some points.
Under 500 through 10 games for the first time since the 2011-2012 season. And you would have to figure some of that might have been a Stanley Cup hangover from the year before, maybe the slow start in the following year, but they did end up making the postseason. They were 3-7 through 10 games that year.